Matters player, caretaker manager Andy Awford. 0-0 draw against your former side. Pleased with the point?
Yeah, delighted with the point. You know, it's a tough place to come, isn't it? And no one knows more than me what a difficult place it can be to play in. As an opposition, and I thought the lads stood up to it really well today. They showed bags of character, bags of resilience, and yeah, they fully deserve their point today. It's a good point.
You said after Saturday's game that the 11 players that played against Exeter deserved the chance to play against Wycombe. 5 changes today.
Yeah, that was. Listen, after Wycombe, I could have made 11 changes in all honesty, and that's. You know, we had one of those days where it didn't go for us, as we spoke about after the Wycombe game. But we wanted to freshen it up. I'd made my mind up even before the Wycombe game, with the 2 games in 3 days, that we would need to freshen it up coming down here. And we thought long and hard about that. We thought about a game plan, how we would go. You know, I thought having a 2 up would try and cause them a few problems on the counter, which it did on occasions. And it was a good shape today, and I was delighted with the players.
And you chose Jack Marriott to play alongside Paul Benson rather than the more experienced Craig McCall-Smith.
Yeah, obviously Craig played 90 minutes on Saturday against Wycombe, and I felt that Jack needed his chance. And I thought we needed the physical presence of Benno, and it was which one to go with him. It's a team game, it's a squad game, and I said that to every one of them this morning when I named the team. It's all about the group, and it's all about everybody pulling together and moving forward. And there was disappointed people in there, and I want that. But you can't take your disappointment into the stadium. You know, you've got to get behind everybody, and anyone that was left out today that wasn't involved, they've shown a great work ethic today, a team ethic, sorry, and delighted for everybody involved. It's a good point.
And 1 or 2 players coming in that haven't had much game or any game time of late. Stephen O'Donnell at right back and Ryan Hall coming in for just his first start.
I just felt today we needed the pace in the wide areas of Ryan Hall. I thought he did excellent. He obviously got cramp at the end, which he lasted a lot longer than I thought he was. He was the one we had eyes on who would have to come off, but he thoroughly enjoyed that today, and he's put in the right shift, and he's caused them a few problems on the counter, like we said, and he's dug in for the team today. So Steve O'Donnell the same. I thought the whole back 4 were outstanding today. I really did. I thought they deserved their clean sheet with Mark Tyler, and that was a good point.
I mean, the clean sheet was decisive. It got you the point. I mean, it perhaps wasn't pretty at times. It wasn't entertaining, free-flowing football always. But you've come away from Fratton Park with the point.
You've got to grind results out sometimes. You know, all the best teams do that, don't they? When they're not playing so well, they grind results out and take a point away from home. And you know, we were hoping that we might be able to nick it on the counter attack. We had a couple of opportunities first half. Certainly, it was more opportunities second half to. In and around their box, good players to come off the bench and go on, who can hurt teams. So yeah, that was always the plan. We weren't negative, we weren't settled for a point. I came here to win, but we certainly came here not to lose. So which we've achieved that goal. So no, that's a really good point, I think.
I mean, limited chances to really test the Portsmouth keeper, but Craig McCall-Smith came on and had one early doors, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and just hoping that one's going to go in the back of the net or a corner or a set piece that we work on. But you know, the important thing today was the work ethic and the character that the players showed. Because after Wycombe, I wasn't too happy with that, and I think there was a few people not too happy as well. And the players weren't happy either. They needed to bounce back and show some resilience and show some character, which I thought they showed today. So fair play to them.
And certainly had to defend at times. Solid at the back there, as you said, they deserved the clean sheet. But 13 corners to defend, and Scott Cuthbert was at the heart of that defence, heading a lot clear.
Yeah, it was a replica of the Exeter game for Scott Cuthbert. You know, he's made one mistake against Wycombe, which is cost us dearly. And that happens to every player. And Scott's a good lad. And you know, there was never any doubt that Scott was going to play, and I thought he was all of them in that back 4 today. And the protection they got from Smith and Lawless was excellent. And then McCoy and all had to put a shift in at times. The way Portsmouth play with the fullbacks bombing on, we knew that was coming. And then it was could we counter, which we did on occasion. Maybe we could do a little bit better with the ball still, which is something to work on. But it was all about today character, and I think like I said, we showed that in abundance.
With regards to the players that weren't featuring today, you mentioned them earlier. Any of them out through injury? I mean, no sign of Ollie Lee?
No, everybody's fit. That was all down to selection and the reasons behind how they would play. You look at what they do, you look at what we want to do. So no, everybody's fit.
So looking ahead now for the next week, a strong squad to choose from going ahead.
Yeah, lots as you saw on at Kenilworth Road after the game against Wycombe, we had I think 15 players training on the pitch. So you know, games come thick and fast. We haven't got a full week lead up to Bristol, but it's the same for everybody in this league, isn't it? So we'll get rested tomorrow, and we'll get prepared Wednesday, Thursday. We'll get down there Friday, and we'll go again. You know, Bristol on the run, aren't they? The games aren't getting any easier, are they, for us at the minute? And there's a tough batch of games to see out. So yeah, if I'm still in charge, I don't know. You're going to ask me, no doubt, in a minute. I still don't know what's going to happen, but take it game by game, and that's another one notched off. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, right. I was going to ask you about the managerial situation, but I mean, looking away from that at the moment, how difficult is it with the 2 games in 3 days and then not having a full week to lead into Bristol? I mean, it changes everything around.
Yeah, it does, and we made changes today for that reason, to freshen it up, to get fresh legs. We knew it was going to be a shift today, so that was part of the reason for changing things around. But you know, every team, we're not the only team having 2 games in 3 days and then only 4 or 5 days before Bristol. It's the same for every team. So we just got to get on with it, and it's part of the tradition in this country, isn't it?
And for yourself personally, though, obviously focusing at Bristol Rovers, it'd be nice to know sooner rather than later the work that you've got to put in for that match if you are going to be in charge.
I'll just prepare every day until I'm told differently. If someone wants to come in before that, if someone comes in before that game and takes over the work we've done, then that's fine by me. But I'll continue to prepare the team professionally and properly and give it my absolute all. And if you get a response like that from the players, then you're always happy.
And how pleased were you with the response from the fans this afternoon? 1,500, just under 1,600 in.
Amazing.
Made the trip.
Yeah, great. You know, and it's expensive, isn't it, coming to football grounds, no matter where you go. And it's a long trip just after Christmas, when they're full house as well, Portsmouth. But the 1,600 fans that travelled today made some noise, and they kept us going at the end. You know, they're blowing the ball out the net. And that was important, and I'm delighted for them. You know, we all went over and applauded them at the end, and that was important.
And for yourself personally, to come back to Fratton Park, you spoke on Saturday. Yes, of course, it's different to any other game, but you were still focused on Luton.
It was weird doing an overnight stay for a Portsmouth game when I lived 20 minutes up the road. That was quite that was quite a different thing. But no, we're all professional. We all know the law of the jungle in football. And like I said to you on Saturday, it hasn't changed. It wasn't just another game for me. It's a different squad that Paul's got there. It's a different staff. So there's not that. It's not my players there anymore. So it's totally different. If I'd have only left a couple of weeks ago, it'd have been a little bit different. But there's been a lot of time gone on, and I wish them well. It's a fantastic club, is Portsmouth, and I wish them all the best.